Hey guys, this is Phil from UnTitledChapter, and what we have in front of us is the iPad Pro 9.7, or if you preferably call that iPad Air 3, because to me, honestly, it looks like an iPad Air 3, and they just shoved in the Pro naming to get $100 extra out of your wallet, but who knows. So here we go with the iPad Pro, but it's not the generic iPad Pro, it's a 9.7 inches. Inch there, but anyway, so it starts at 32 gigabytes with the price of $599. Is that $599? Yes, $599. And it goes extra with the 128 gigabytes, and there is a cellular model for all of the storage, unlike the original iPad Pro. Now they changed the name into 12.9-inch iPad Pro, but this guy only had the LTE model for the top tier storages. But this guy has the LTE model for all of them, so I guess that's a good thing. But some of you might ask, what's so wrong about getting extra prices if you have added so many features into it? But thinking about Apple, what I really liked about Apple is that they never raise a price, especially thinking about the previous generation of the iPad, the iPods or the iPhones. The price always remained the same. However, better, no matter how much better they went. But this is different. They shoved in the Pro naming, and now you got to pay $100 more. So here goes with just a reflat. And this is one of my favorite parts about Apple's, that there is a color printed little manual reflex over there, and most importantly, there's a sticker. But anyway, aside from your car's rear window, I don't know where to put them in, so I'm just gonna put it there. I don't drive a car. And here's a lightning cable, and it's the same old lightning cable that we have seen for the past 2 years. And here is the charger with the glorious 10 watts of the output. Now, they have launched a new charger, new quick charger for a USB Type-C to Lightning to charge up your iPad Pro quickly. And now they still included a 10-watt charger, in which if you want to get an extra quicker charger, fast charger, you gotta pay. How much was that in total? You gotta pay for the charger, you gotta pay for the cable, and you gotta have an iPad Pro before that. So I guess that's a lot of numbers there. But here we go with the new color of the rose gold of the iPad Pro 9.7. And yes, it looks and feels like the iPad Air 3, but here is the biggest change over there, the camera bump. Yes. Now it's got a 12 megapixels of camera. It's an upgraded camera, and they upgraded the bump as well. If you were not exactly a fan of the iPhone's camera bump, iPod's camera bump, now here comes the extra a little salt of fairness for the iPad as well. Now this guy has a bump as well. But thanks to that, you can now take a 4K UHD video, and the front-facing FaceTime camera is also upgraded. Do I have to charge that? Oh, just in case, I'm just gonna plug it here. What if it's out of battery? If you ask what this is actually a pop-up charger from the desk that we're building now. We'll have a time to explain that later. 89%. Sorry, no need for that. All right, so we're just gonna put it aside there. And here you go with the iPad Pro 9.7. Let me explain more while I'm setting this guy up. So let's start by choosing the language. And Namibia comes at our country. No, I'm not living in Namibia. Is it in Africa? I think it's in Africa. But anyway, choose Wi-Fi network. I think that's mandatory. So 8 5s. That's our password. Try to remember that. 8 5s. So we're now activating. Now, the biggest difference with the previous generation, I'm just going to call it the iPad Air 2, is that this guy comes with a more powerful processor and a lot of different new features, including the A9X and, sorry, this setting is confusing, A9X, 2 gigs of RAM, and smart keyboard cover, and the ND. God, it's confusing. What else was in for the iPad Pro 9.7? God, seriously, you gotta simplify the settings. Now, the setting used to be a lot simpler than the Android counterpart. Now, this is a lot more confusing, and skipping buttons are all over. They should put that in a single place. But anyway, so here we go with the True Tone display. Right, this was what I was waiting for. The True Tone display is brand new thing to any kind of iPad. Even the iPad Pro 12.9 doesn't even have that. So this guy and this guy are not exactly the same thing. This isn't exactly a smaller version of the 12.9 version. This guy is missing the True Tone display. If you ask me what that is, so we're going to go to display and brightness, and here is a True Tone turned on. So beneath the display panel, there are hidden sensors. Those are called the temperature sensors that read the temperature of the color surrounding you, well, the display. But anyway, let's just call it you. So it will adjust the screen into the color around you. So let's just switch the colors into more of a cafe-ish lighting there. All right, so now we're in a warmer environment, and the screen has automatically adjusted to the screen tone. If we turn off the True Tone here, look how colder and pale that goes. All right, now we're gonna turn that back on, and we're going to turn the lightings around us to more of a fluorescent lighting, with the color temperature getting pale, more pale. The True Tone display adjusts to it, but don't get me wrong, this is still a warmer part of the display. So if we turn the True Tone off, it gets even more pale. So it adjusted to the color so you can read your iPad or web surf more comfortably. And I can definitely feel that it hurts my eye a lot less than the usual panels. Now this is a 9.7 incher and the A9X, but it's not the same A9X in the iPad 12.9 inches because it's more of a underclocked processor there. The CPU is underclocked and the GPU is underclocked. Aside from that, it's got a 2 GB of RAM compared to the 4 gigs on a bigger counterpart. All right, so that seems like the most basic thing, and they added up the Apple Pencil and the smart cover. So what you can do with the Apple Pencil is you can pair them up. I know, this is my favorite way of pairing them up, but Apple designed it this way. Give it a few seconds, and it's going to ask you if you want to pair with your Apple Pencil. You can charge your Apple Pencil in that manner as well, although I think it looks ridiculous. But here we go with the Apple Pencil support. You know all the basics about it. You can lean on it, and you can write on it. Pressure sensitive 256 levels. Was it 2056? But anyway, a lot of levels. Aside from that, this is pretty much the iPad Air 3-ish. Here comes the iPad Air 1, just the iPad Air. And here comes the iPad Air 3, I mean the iPad Pro 9.7. You see the dimensions, they're almost identical. And if we had a iPad Air 2, it would have looked exactly the same because they share the height, width, thickness, and even the weight, I think. All right, so if we flip it, there you go. And there you go. Rose gold definitely looks better in a bigger plate, although it still isn't my favorite color. So there we go. And on top of that, for the extra $100, you get to have the 4 speakers there and there, just like the iPad Pro 12.9. Is that 12.3? I think it's 12.9. But anyway, so it automatically adjusts to the way that you're holding. So holding like that, left, right, bass woofer like that, left, right. You get the idea. All right, so that was a brief look or the unboxing at the iPad Pro 9.7, aka the iPad Air 3, honestly. So here comes with the $599 tablet. I don't know how much productive you can get with the iPad Pro 9.7, but Apple is claiming that this is going to replace your whole productivity suite. But that's what they say with the bigger iPad Pro, and it didn't happen to be the case. But we'll see. You can check that out in our in-depth review that's coming soon. Don't forget to subscribe on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, and subscribe on YouTube too. You should have done that already. But anyway, till then, ciao.